Resolutions from Legacy. Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, Legacy. ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਕਾਂਗਰਸਮੈਨ ਪੈਟਰਿਕ ਮੀਹਨ ਫਿਲਾਡੈਲਫੀਆ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਰੈਜ਼ੋਲੂਸ਼ਨ ਪੜ੍ਹੀ ਗਈ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਆਪਣਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਆਪ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੱਖ ਲੱਖ ਵਧਾਈ ਹੋਵੇ ਵਿਸਾਖੀ ਦੀ। Friends of American Sikh Caucus, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਕਿ 2013 ਚ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ। ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ almost 50 members of Congress ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਕਾਂਗਰਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ American Sikh Congressional Caucus ਤੇ। ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਮੈਂਬਰਸ ਆਮ ਸ਼ੋਰ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕਾਂਗਰਸਮੈਨ ਹੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਊਅਰਸ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕਾਂਗਰਸਮੈਨ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਨ ਕਿ ਹਾਂ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਹੀ ਕਾਂਗਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕਰਨ। ਸੋ ਕਾਂਗਰਸ ਦੀ ਅਚੀਵਮੈਂਟ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਬੁਲਿੰਗ, ਹੇਟ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ, ਆਪਣੇ ਅਲਾਉ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਸਿੱਖ ਟੂ ਸਰਵ ਇਨ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਫੋਰਸਿਸ 'ਚ। ਐਂਡ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਕਿ 2 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਬਰੀਫਿੰਗ ਵੀ ਕਰਾਈ ਗਈ ਸੀ on minority religions, and ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇਹਦੀ ਹੀਅਰਿੰਗ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਸੀ ਬਾਅਦ 'ਚ by Tom Lantis ਕਮੇਟੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਾਕਸ ਨੇ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਸੀ। ਸੋ ਉਸ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਫਿਰ ਬਾਅਦ 'ਚ ਕਾਕਸ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਆਰਮ ਫੋਰਸਿਸ ਤੇ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਕਰਾਈ ਗਈ ਸੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਰਿਟਾਇਰਡ ਏਅਰ ਚੀਫ ਮਾਰਸ਼ਲ ਬੋਪਰਾ ਹੋਣੀ ਆਏ ਸੀ ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਤੋਂ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਅਟੈਸ਼ੇ ਭੇਜਿਆ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ। ਸਿੰਘ ਆਏ ਸੀ ਫਰੀਮੌਂਟ ਤੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ 77 ਵਿੱਚ ਆਰਮੀ 'ਚ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਸਰੂਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਲਾਉ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ। ਉਹ ਵੀ ਬਰੀਫਿੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਕਿ ਹਾਂ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਲਾਉ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਵੇ। ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਸੈਂਸਸ ਤੇ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਕੋਈ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਕਿ ਹਾਂ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਨੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਪਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਸੈਂਸਸ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਦਾ ਕੈਟੇਗਰੀ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ। ਸੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਚੇਅਰਮੈਨ ਸਨ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਵਾਅਦਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਸਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਵਧਾਇਆ ਜਾਊਗਾ ਅੱਗੇ। ਸੋ ਉਸ ਸਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਕਾਂਗਰਸ ਚੱਲੀ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ। ਸੋ ਆਪ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਪਣੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕਮਿਊਨੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਰੋ। ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਹੋਈ ਤੇ ਬੜੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੋਈ। ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸੰਧੂ ਹੋਣੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਰਟੀਨੈਂਟ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਪੋਜ਼ ਕੀਤੇ ਸੀ ਕਾਂਗਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਈ ਕੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਖਾਸ ਹੈ ਕੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤਾਂ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਯੂ ਆਰ ਦ ਐਂਬੈਸਡਰ of our caucus. Caucus is here to serve you. So we're very helpful and very thankful to each and every one of you. So Vaisakhi ਵੱਲੋਂ ਆਪਣੇ Congress Vice Chair Congressman Patrick Meehan is here. He will open up the floor, and it is a wonderful time to have Congressman Patrick Meehan from Philadelphia, who introduced and spoke about the resolution on the floor. So Congressman Meehan's office is one of the offices that is most welcoming to all of us. Congressman sometimes kids with us that the caucus office is Congressman Meehan's office. So we're very thankful for his office and taking the leadership in moving the caucus forward. As you will know, and you will see on the clips, how Congressman spoke on the floor about the Vaisakhi celebration itself. So it is my honor, on behalf of the caucus, for having our chairman, Congressman Patrick Meehan from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Hello, I am, what a delight to have so many here today in Washington from all around the area, all around the country, which just underscores the vitality of the community and how special I feel that you've included me and allowed me to become part of your interests, particularly becoming ready for the big parade this weekend and celebrating the Vaisakhi, which you gave me the honor of being able to speak on the floor about it so that we create a record and a national appreciation for the very, very important celebration that will take place, but also continuing appreciation on my colleagues of the issues that we discuss, which may be local here in the United States, where we continue to make sure that we are looking after issues of civil rights and others, where we know the difficulties, and particularly in times like this where the concerns with foreigners and others generate unfortunate pushback. So we have been collectively together on the front end of that, but I've also appreciated and continue to appreciate the important concerns that you have with many of your friends and family who continue to remain back home in your homeland and are often caught in the crosshairs of the issues between Pakistan and India, and our continuing recognition of vitality and importance of protecting not only the integrity but the safety of our entire Sikh community. We have big challenges to assure that that happens. But by your being here today and your continued presence, you personify the importance of this issue. And I often say in Washington, D.C., you see out there the people walking around, everything comes. And if you don't take the time to make sure that your issues and your concerns are before the people that have to make the decisions to help you, it'll go away. You don't, there's an old saying, the squeaking wheel gets the grease. You shouldn't consider it a squeaking wheel. It's an appropriate sound that tells you it's time to fix this. And that's what we're working on, to be collectively there to fix it. So I want to thank you for all that you've enabled me to do. I had said earlier today in my closing comment, was this is a relationship that was generated out of pure goodwill and friendship. I lived for 25 years and raised my family in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania, and had the good fortune to be able to have so many Sikhs as my neighbors, and visiting the temple, and participating in the parade, and being down at the games. Raj, what's the name? What's the name of the game that they play where they tackle?
Kabaddi.
Watching those young men play that game, that to me was really, really exciting. And I was glad that I was a spectator. That's all I can tell you. I can tell you there. But I feel so fortunate to have been brought into the community and have been able to be part of it, where the culture you've invited me to join in. I have to say honestly, I still really can't eat the food as well as you guys. But I try. I do my best. Thank you. Thank you for the warmth and the acceptance. Thank you for being here today in such strong numbers as we continue to assure that we are paying appropriate attention to your issues. I'm honored to have you as constituents, and I'm honored that you have enabled me to grow with you, to meet so many friends all across the United States. Thank you.
Awesome.
Mr. Congressman had asked that this resolution be presented to Dr. Harpreet Singh for the American Dilavar Prabandhak Committee, and we would like to also have our chief sport athletes, which I will get out of the picture because I will be ashamed I'm so small. Satnam Singh will also come here and be with them. So Congressman, you get to deal with that height. So, and this to the and Satnam Singh. Also
See you. Thank you. So what we
have
just the House resolution. Do you want to get the picture
Yes,
taken
sir.
with the three of us?
Yes.
Very good. Okay.
Thank you, Congressman, for your services, and the caucus is appreciative for all you've done.
Thanks,
And
Harpreet.
we will continue to work with you.
Thank you
As-
so much.
So this country is large, from east to west and west to east. We are just as honored to be on the west coast, to be our heartland of what we call the sixth largest economy. And our Congressman Jim Costa, who represents the valley, as we say, and before the hills of the, is here also. And we are thankful.
Very nice.
for his As you know, our mission, as we mentioned, is making sure that the hate crime stops. And when the last incident happened, Congressman Costa went out to the floor and spoke about some of the crime that is going on here. So we are honored for Congressman Costa to take the leadership, not just in the state of California, but all across the country. He was one of the also sponsors when we talked about the men and women to be able to serve in the armed forces. It is our honor to have Congressman Jim Costa from California. Congressman Costa.
Welcome to our nation's capital. It belongs to all of us. And I am very heartened when I see so many of you who come here. And as I remind the wonderful diversity of the San Joaquin Valley where I come from. As we know, America is a land of immigrants, past and present. And with every generation of immigrants, America becomes a better country. When I brought India's ambassador to California 3 years ago, she, in a meeting, a dinner we had, said, "You know, Jim, India has given America some of our most valuable and best resources, and that's our people. And each and every one of you reflect that contribution, you and your families." As you know, the first Sikh temple in the United States was in Stockton, California. And at one time, my district included 8 Sikh temples. And on April 14th, we'll celebrate Vaisakhi. And I hope to tomorrow, when we come back from the Easter recess, make a statement on the House floor as the importance of this holiday, the celebration that all Sikhs throughout the world focus on the contributions in terms of the new year and new beginnings, and consequently the shared history and the shared values that each and every one of you had. I could go on, whether it was the earliest immigrants that were primarily farmers from the Punjabi region, to a wave of immigrants from healthcare specialists to physicians. We probably have over 1,000 physicians, Sikh physicians, between Bakersfield and Modesto. We have a physician shortage, but if it were not for the Indian Sikh physicians, it would even be greater. My doctor is Dr. S.P. Dilavar, and he is the best. You can tell him I said so. But not only it's professionals in healthcare, but business people. I think maybe a third of the, maybe more of the trucking industry in the valley is owned by Punjabi Sikh truck drivers, and so there's just so many contributions in just so many different ways that make our valley, make our state, and make our nation a better place to live for what you and your families have done. So to be a part of the Sikh Caucus, obviously I have honor and proud. Now we have challenges. We know, especially since 9/11, with a lot of the reaction that has not been the sort of reaction that we like to comment upon in America, but it's been a lot of it reflected toward racism that has existed. We've seen, attacks done in Sikh temples. We've seen people lose their lives. In the valley, we just had, in the last year, several attacks that have been done upon Sikhs that have been hate crimes. I mean, let's just call it for what it is. And it's one of the reasons the Sikh Caucus is so important, because you help me raise the understanding of these challenges, and that fostering meetings as we have done in Fresno with the Sikh community and the Board of Education, so that teachers understand better the Sikh culture and the traditions and the customs, working with law enforcement agencies for the same purpose. These are all things that we have attempted to do under this difficult circumstances that we deal with today. because of a backlash that has developed, unfortunately, toward immigrants. And some of that backlash toward immigrants is focused on the Sikh community, and you know it better than I do. But that's why I try to do what I can do. I think the first district director for a United States congressman of Sikh background is a gentleman who some of you know who works for me, Gill, and I'm very proud. He not only speaks Punjabi, but he speaks, he helps me when I do the Sunday Punjabi show in Fresno. My Punjabi's not very good. But it makes a difference when you reach out, and it makes a difference when you understand each other better. And so I just want to close by saying how honored I am to have the privilege to represent a rich and diverse district in the San Joaquin Valley. And a significant part of that rich diversity and that mosaic of cultures that come from people all around the world is the Sikh community that contributes and makes a difference every day and improves the quality of life. And so I want you to know that I will continue to be an advocate on behalf of the Sikh Caucus, whether it's dealing with issues of the military. I was honored to have the first nomination in my district 5 years ago of a son of a Sikh family, who some of you may know. Harry Gill's son was appointed to the Air Force State Academy, and he graduated just last year, this last year. And now he's on my Academy appointments nominating committee. So this is how the assimilation works with your families and with my family, because we are all immigrants. I am a second generation. My grandparents came here at the turn of the last century. My parents were born here. But from my heart, I understand the story of the immigrant, because it's my story, it's your story. And I think with every generation of immigrants, America becomes a better place to live. Because you add energy, you add excitement, and you add the sense of family, the strong Sikh families that are reflected here. And for that, I can't thank you enough. So let's keep up the work. Let's make sure that we deal with these challenges together. And in doing so, we make America a greater place to live, a better nation. And yes, I have attended kabaddi tournaments.
Nice.
As the Congressman mentioned about education, it was Bakersfield that the case about the Kirpan for the school children moved on to the 9th District Court, highest court, as you lately know about the 9th District at the moment. So we are very thankful for the Congressman and everybody else who's working on the rights of the Sikhs. And Congressman has taken a leadership position within the caucus, even before the caucus. He's always been there doing the talk, walking the walk of the Sikhs all the time. So we're thankful, and we are looking forward, Congressman, to take a more active position in the caucus, and we will hopefully looking forward to that happening very soon as well, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir. And of course, Gary Chahal, who is his chief of staff of the district. We're thankful, he's a wonderful person, and we're looking for him to do great stuff on your behalf as well.
All right.
Thank you, Congressman.
Thank you.
Back to the program. We will be going back and forth from the program as members of Congress come in. On Vaisakhi, so what is Vaisakhi? So we have Satnam Kaur, and by the way, this program really is being run by the youth, and I apologize for taking this more time. I'm Molek Singh, and there's Molek Singh, raise your hand, Molek. has all these youth. They're running this program after I shut down and sit down. So they're running the show. So Anamol will introduce the next speaker, Vaisakhi. Some of the young ones and some of the old ones who have participated on a professional level, or on a collegiate level, or on a high school level. So you just can't, just because you played high school level tennis, you can't, or any other sport, you have to have made national ranking. So it was a criteria, and of course, what's amazing is if you look at it, and even if you see my little picture, and yes, we wore short shorts back then, don't laugh about it, and I know you guys have it down to here. So it's amazing that goes back to 1960s. What's amazing is if you read about Mohinder Singh and some other athletes who've been here since the 60s playing sports in this country. So at this time, we will have the introduction of a first award to the athletes.
I want to start by introducing Mohinder Singh Gill, who in the 1960s and 1970s, he dominated the triple jump scene at the NCAA championships in the early 70s. He won 5 NCAA meets in Division II, and he also won 2 in Division I, setting brand new records. Mohinder took gold at the 1970 Asian Games and silver at the 1974 Asian Games. Also, he took 3 golds at the Asian Athletic Championships in 1965, 1973, and 1975. Mohinder Singh also nabbed a bronze at the 1970 Edinburgh Commonwealth Games and a silver at the 1974 Christchurch Games. India honored Mohinder Singh with the nation's highest sportsman honor of Arjuna Award for the year 1970.
Mohinder Singh is in China. He's supposed to be here. He's into business transactions, so he's stuck there. So on his behalf, Agewal Singh Bart is here, who's a friend of the family. He will be accepting the award on his behalf, and presenting the award will be. Who's presenting?
Can you come forward, please?
He will. So presenting on behalf of the Gurudwaras, Yalbinder Singh will be presenting it to him. So, so obviously the plaque, I forgot to mention it. This has been recognized on behalf of the American Sikh Congressional Caucus by our co-chairs and our vice chairs. So it is an honor to have that on their behalf.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Sat Sri Akal ji. It's an honor representing one of the greatest sportsmen of Sikh community. I've known him since 70s, believe it or not, and he is part of my family from my non-Kapava. As the gentleman mentioned, his achievements range from national to Asian and international levels. He's won multiple NCAA championships here in America. He was very close to being one of the best in the world. We all know the system. We grow up back in India, how the partiality plays the role, and he has been the victim of that system, which I hate to mention at this present time. But as an individual, I feel, being myself athlete, to be a sportsman, you got to have a special character. You got to hold on to virtues in your deep in your heart in order to succeed in sports. It was back in late 70s that I was competing at Jalandhar in one of the athletic meets. After I won my race, a coach came over and asked me that Mr. Gill, Mohinder Singh, wanted to see me. So we met, we talked, And since then, he became my guide and my mentor. And it's my privilege to share that he is the sole reason that I am, not only me, but my family, is realizing the American dream. He paved the path for me to be an American. So that honor goes to him. It's an honor being here. I want to thank American Sikh Caucus, especially youth, and the whole community being here. And not to mention last, but most important, our congressmen that have organized this program. So thank you very much. God bless you. God bless America.
Our next athlete is Sumeet Gill. She grew up in Elk Grove, California, where she was a 4-year starter on the Pleasant Grove High School varsity volleyball team. She was ranked number 31 on the PrepVolleyball.com Senior Aces. Was named a third-team All-American in 2014. She led her high school team to its first Delta League title in 2014, and was also named the girls' Junior National Volleyball Championship All-Tournament team in 2013. She currently plays at the University of Oregon, where she earned Pac-12 All-Academic Honorable Mention during her sophomore year in 2016. Because she currently still is playing due to athletic practices, she was not able to attend, but we would definitely still like to say her name. Thank you.
I will be introducing Jasraj Sandhu. Jasraj Singh Sandhu was first introduced to tennis at the NSCI Tennis Coaching School in New Delhi, India. In pursuit of his dream of winning championships, he came to the US at the age of 17. By the time he left India, he had become a promising nationally ranked player at the junior level. Sandhu attended California State University, Sacramento, where he learned that the college had one of the best small college teams in the country. He tried out and made the team, where he played 2 years as number 4 tennis player. During these 2 years, the team did not lose a single match in Far Western Conference play. After college, he kept playing competitively, and in the 70s, he was ranked in both mixed doubles and men's doubles in Northern California, as well as being the finalist in the Concord City Tennis Championships. Jasraj Singh Sandhu is not here, so Harpreet uncle, Harpreet Singh Sandhu, will be accepting the award on behalf by Jasraj Singh Sandhu.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
It's really nothing to do with his family. Jasraj Singh is my cousin. And as mentioned before, he was playing tennis 20 years before I was playing tennis. And it's because of him I started playing tennis as well. And it's not by chance that we have such tennis players in this area. And we'll talk more about that later as our people come and go. So Jasraj Singh unfortunately had a stroke and is recuperating. But he was one of the most magnificent. If you look at his picture, and there's one picture missing actually the whole team, where in 1961 he's standing with all white guys with crew cuts. And that's the way it was in America. And here's 1961 and the guy with a pug on, and he's playing tennis. Himself and myself, we didn't know you can play with a pug and play pugs. We were out there playing with our pugs on, and didn't match so we didn't know any better. So we thank you on behalf of the caucus to recognize some of the older ones who are here. At this time, we'll take a little break because a lot of the member caucus, this caucus really survives because our members support us, but even more so is the staff that work for them. So if you go to the offices, nothing gets done if the staff wasn't there to help us out on our member caucuses or caucuses for our members of Congress here. So we're going to take a little break because California just closed its doors for the caucus time, the offices are closed, and a lot of the staff will be now coming in. So we will all have a little food, and we'll rejoin again in about 20 minutes. So, but we will do this orderly. And again, I'm sorry, but California takes the House here, and preference in the caucus, we just have such a large number of members of caucus and Congress who understand what the Sikhs are. I bet you there are at least 200,000-300,000 Sikhs there. And what is important about our chair, Congressman John Garamendi, is he has a relationship, I'm sure he'll go into it, with the Sikh community that goes back 20 to 25, 30 years, if not 40 years. There you go. I met him first when he was just starting his race for insurance commissioner. That was years ago. But I was already working under the leadership of the Democrat Party, and he's already been serving. So he has been with the caucus, with the Sikh community, now from the Yuba City. Of course, who doesn't know Yuba City? I think everybody in India knows Yuba City because they get on the plane, they land in San Francisco, they go to Yuba City.
Yeah.
And there are people of generation who have no idea what the rest of the country is or the rest of California is. San Francisco, Yuba City.
Yuba City.
And it's amazing. So Congressman has been there representing us from Yuba City. And not only that, he has been forefront on all the topics about the hate crime, about injustice that may have happened in California and throughout the state. And he serves in the Armed Services Committee. He's moving forward with allowing Sikhs to serve in the armed forces. And when we had our briefing on the armed services, it was the chairman's leadership. We held that briefing moving forward. So I will not take no more time. It is our honor to have our co-chair, Congressman John Garamendi from California.
I'm going to be very, very brief. You're quite right. I have been working with the Sikh community since 1974 when I represented Stockton, which takes pride in having the very first temple in the United States. Now, you can debate that amongst yourselves, but that's what the Stockton folks were.
It is.
Okay, I've got confirmation. But there are many, many things that are going on. I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late. We were at an Armed Service Committee hearing. We have made progress on the ability for Sikhs to maintain their many other issues that confront this community, all the way from discrimination as the issues of this last campaign ramped up to a way that we clearly stand a little bit this way, otherwise that lady's going to lose her arm as she tries.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
As we dealing with what the rhetoric the harsh rhetoric of this last campaign, and it's spilling over into all kinds of issues that affect this community in a very negative and harmful way. The immigration issues are before us in so many ways, and I know that there is a cut in the State Department budget. It's going to affect each and every one of you because you want to have your family get that visa to come and visit the United States for the weddings and other events. All of those things are before us. And so for us who represent large communities, large Sikh communities, and even beyond, we're going to need to have from you continued information about what is happening in the communities. And so make sure that we know that. There's many, many things to talk about, but there's one thing I learned way back in 1974 when I was first running for office in the Stockton area, and that is never stand between the food and the audience. So let me just welcome all of you and tell you that there are many, many representatives and staff in these buildings that care deeply about the issues that affect you. So we look forward to working together. Thank you so very, very much.
As Congressman was so gracious and understands sports. Congressman played football at Cal.
Wow.
So go blue.
Go Bears.
Go blue.
So he understands what the value of athletes are. So it's an honor for us to be, because of you being an athlete, Cal graduate as football as well, to have those honors. So Congressman,
Where is this going?
because the young man over there is going to make us both look bad. So Satnam Singh is here. If all the recipients who are here of the awards, please step up so we can take in. Jasjeet Singh, just as the Congressman said, is the oldest Gurdwara in Virginia. Jasjeet Singh, if I can have him come up here as well. Jasjeet Singh Sandhu can also please come up. And could we get all the recipients with the Congressman? And Satnam Singh is going to make us all look bad, so we get ready for him. So he's
What happened?
Amazing. Okay.
Very
Yeah, Congresswoman Barbara Constack from our Fairfax area, from Virginia.
I just wanted to stop by and say hello, and it's wonderful to be with you. As you know, I'm a member of the Sikh Caucus, so it's always an honor to work with you and everybody in our community who helps enrich my diverse district so much. So really appreciate having you here tonight. And you know our door is always open, and look forward to continuing friendship and all the great value you bring.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you so much.
Congresswoman, we had an opportunity to meet her on a Saturday or Sunday event, and we said, Congresswoman, we have a caucus. She said, am I on it? I said, and she said, no, if not, put me on it. Monday morning, Congresswoman was on the caucus. I said, we're so thankful for you being on it and bringing forward our
And they
caucus
do a
as
good
well.
job.
And I hope so. And our leadership is here, Congressman me and Congressman Garamendi, our co-chairs of the caucus. So thank you, Congresswoman. So I thank you for that. Could I have some of the Gurdwaras please come, if they can, one individual from all Gurdwaras to take a picture with Congressman and Congresswoman, please. Easily, quietly, please, if you come, just one, please.